Hi everybody. So this is a quick video to talk through the annotated bibliographies. I'm going to actually just go through a bunch of them on the discussion board, and I'll highlight things as I go. I'm not quite sure what I'll be able to highlight in certain ways with this software, but we're going to go ahead and try it out. Okay? So I've done this before, but I haven't done it with the discussion board in Canvas updated the way it is. So as you can see right now, I've got kind of the instructions here, right? That the goal was to use the library database to find 4 scholarly sources and use the appropriate citation style and create a mini annotated bibliography with your 4 sources. So I'm going to go through a few, and I'm just going to kind of read through them the way I would read through them, so you can kind of get a sense of how I read through things. So at the first one, first thing I notice when I look at it big picture wise is that I can see we've got the citation, and then right below it the annotation, and then same thing below. I see another citation, and below that another annotation. And so what catches my eye, this looks like it is in APA. It says 1223. Usually you don't need the 12. You just need the 2003, and then the 12, meaning usually December, I suspect, would be over here for the month. This looks like a journal article. There is a title with quotations, and then it looks like the journal is Communication Research. However, this should be italicized. This is clearly not a problem with the discussion board because the one below it is italicized. So this would be the one thing I would say is this needs to be fixed here, and also this needs to be fixed here. This might be something that it might not be clear how to do it. I'm not sure what this is actually, what this number is, and I'm not sure whether it's relevant. That would be something I'd have to look up the source myself. This is issue 30, or volume 30, issue 6, and I suspect 12 might be like December. Sometimes if it's like a quarterly journal, they'll write 30-6, and then they'll write winter, fall, spring, and so that becomes important. If this is a monthly journal, then maybe it is important that the month is included, but not here. It would be included over here. Okay, so let me look at the annotation. Scott Kaplan is a professor at the University of Delaware, Department of Communication. His study looks at the internet usage of university students' attempts to correlate that with pre-existing symptoms of depression and other psychological health problems. So we see a summary, and we see kind of what makes this person relevant. The researcher's hypothesis was individuals suffer from psychological stress. This study provides evidence that online socialization can lead to problematic internet use, which has negative consequences. So we can see how this might be connected to the person's study, and I suspect it'll make more sense when we look at a couple more annotations. Okay, so that one seems to be doing what it needs to be doing. It has a summary, it shows credibility, and it talks about how it might connect. It isn't yet connected to any other sources in the bibliography, and that would be the other thing we wanted to see if we go back up here. Explains, compares and contrasts with another work you've cited. So remember, summarizes central theme, evaluates the authority, compares and contrasts with another work, and explains how it eliminates the topic. So we'll look at another one down this list. Oh, sorry, I'm going to go up and down. Okay, so this one has author. That this looks correct. Now I'm wondering if it's I can't remember now, I have to look, whether or not the first author is last name and then the other ones are first name, like it might be U.M. Docalia and L. Perlo. God, I have to double check that one. This looks like it's an article in the journal Media Psychology, which means this needs quotation marks around it. We see the issue, volume, page number. The DOI is included. You don't need to have the DOI, but if you can get it, it's helpful. I don't know why it's helpful yet. We haven't started using them. but a lot of people think they will be the next ISBN number. Notice this last one didn't tell us what kind of source it was. It just said it was a study. This one does say it's an article, comes from the Journal of Media Psychology. Specifically, it's a collaboration between 3 university professors, so we see why it's credible. Looks at internet usage, supports the hypothesis about offline relationships. Similar to the source below, it discovers variants, in which case I'd say similar to Crott, Lundberg, or Crott and al. As the instead of source below, just because you may insert another source here later into your bibliography, and then the source below will no longer be the one you referred to before. Okay, I'm just going to comment on the other 2 sources on this particular case for this video, and then I'll just do a more quick skim of a variety of them. Again, we have year. We've got authors and then year. Again, we need, now I'm feeling like I should look up APA. Let's look up APA. Let's go to, where did I write it? Let's go to hacker documentation. Let's look up APA documenting sources, APA list of references. Let's double check this. APA list of reference, what do we want? We want an article in a journal. Okay, so what do we need? We need author, year. Ah, yes, that's right. I stand corrected. It's been a while. There's no need to have quotation marks around an article title, but you still need the italicized journal title. So magazine does have the month after the year, kind of like the first source we had showed us. Let me go back to it. Showed us this 12/23. So it might be 2003 December if it was like this. But that's if it's a magazine. So I don't know if that's a magazine, the particular source. If it's a newspaper, notice the newspaper has, it's not letting me highlight, the newspaper has the date in this section as well, but I still think that was a journal article. Okay, and here is the question about multiple authors. So it is last name, first initial, last name, first initial, last name, first initial, and so that is correct as far as this list goes here. Okay, great. So the one thing, this one is correct, it looks like, and this one is correct, it looks like, and the one thing is actually this one does not need quotation marks, but this does need to be italicized, and we still aren't quite sure what's going on with these things here. This does say, okay, so I want to point something out too. This says page 625, which means this is only a 1-page text, which tells me this study isn't really, this isn't the whole study. It's not an article. This is probably like research findings or a report, and maybe it is in a some kind of monthly thing. So one of the things I also notice as a reader is I noticed how many pages it is. If it's 5 pages, it's not long enough. Now this is, look at that, that's like 25-ish pages. It's clearly a journal article. Also, this one has me wondering, it's also, it says only 1 page, so I'm wondering if this is really an article. I'd want to look into that, and I'd be questioning that. This one, yeah, this one's over 15 pages. This one is clearly an article in Social Indicators Research, and great. This one says it's from a larger journal called the Social Indicators Research. I don't know what larger journal means. Is larger journal a more prestigious journal? I'm not sure. Larger doesn't give me enough information. Maybe specialized, or we talk about journals as being high impact. So you can actually look up certain journals like visual communication. It's got an impact factor of like, I don't remember how the numbers are, but it's kind of like a rating system where it'll say it's 12th out of the top 50 journals. So that would have a high impact factor, and that would make sense. Okay, this one above, though, I'll go back to that one. This article from APA conducts a longitudinal study, which examines how people do things, unlike the case study above. So again, we have comparison to another case study, which is great, but not necessarily, we want to have to know which one is the one above. And then it's significant to my research because it looks at internet usage, and I can explain the overuse of internet affects different groups. So these were, this was our first 4 citations that were in our discussion board, and these are Heather's. So Heather, thank you for being the first guinea pig. I'm going to go through a bunch of others and look them over, and hopefully this helps all of you to see how I'm reading through things and what I look for. And as a reader within, like as an academic reader, I look for those things really quickly, like, oh, that's not an article. Oh, maybe that's something else. And I often will go look it up because I want to know if it's actually credible, because now I'm kind of questioning whether a source that's only 1 page really, maybe it's possibly giving the results of somebody else's study or something like that. Okay, so there's our first one. I'm going to do another short video, and I'll just kind of look over kind of quick formatting things.